Hi, everybody. My name is Teresa Hunter, and I'm with the Agency IQ System. Today, we are going to continue our Mojo training course series by talking about the 10 ways to be able to generate leads. Let's go ahead and join our webinar already in progress. I highly encourage you guys to take this time and invest it in your business. Okay, this is going to be probably one of the best opportunities. I'm really going to stretch your thought process on how to be able to generate leads, because it's not just about generating leads. It's about generating quality leads. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about 10 ways to be able to generate quality leads, because that is our goal. Now, marketing is usually a word that strikes fear in the heart of every single insurance agent. Insurance agents, and I am one of them. I have an insurance agency here in Texas and come from a long line of insurance agents. My mother and my father were both in the insurance industry. And I do have to tell you, we're not marketers. We are salespeople. We like to get out there. We like to connect. We like to be able to sell. But really, what the point is that we sell insurance. But lead generation needs to be something that we're doing at all times. Everything we do is about asking for referrals and generating additional interest, cross-sell, rounding, all of that good stuff is all about being a great marketer. We all say we're not insurance agents, but we're insurance agents. We're not marketers. But in reality, we are marketers. And a lot of people say they're afraid of being swindled or investing in a program that doesn't bring anything to the office. Now, I'm not asking anybody to be able to invest in any programs. So that's not even a worry. And what we're going to do today is actually things that are going to be very, very reasonable financially. So there's not going to be any issue with that either. So there's nothing to be swindled with. A lot of people say they've tried a lot of things and that nothing works. We're going to fix that today. A lot of people say they don't have time for it. They have an office to run, and we completely understand that. The big deal is going to be about the fact that we just go ahead and we set it up and put it on autopilot. And by putting our lead generation on autopilot, it's going to generate leads for us. And they're going to be qualified leads who are going to know who we are, and you're going to be able to benefit from it in the long run. It's going to take a little bit of work on the front end, like everything does. But then once it's set up, it's just going to flow, and I think it's going to be great. Right now, your marketing probably consists of a few of these issues or a few of these items. You probably have a website. You probably make phone calls. You probably do networking or connect with different people. You might do print advertising mailers. You might do newsletters or email marketing, but they're all pretty separate events inside of your office. Well, what we want to do is we want to talk about how to be able to utilize everything more effectively. All your marketing events need to work together. One thing that we find, and we work with insurance agents across the country. We do personal consulting with insurance agents as well as through our system, we do marketing for insurance agents. But what we find is that a lot of people want to just go ahead and have their company send something out for mailers. They just want to be able to have a company-based website or something that's more of what I would call a billboard. They want to be able to just get out there and meet people without and just, advertise. But that's not what you need to do. We need to work together to be able to coordinate your marketing, and you're going to see what that means today. We find that 99% of insurance agents lack a strategy. And what that is an overall plan. Now, it's not just about the message. It's not just about your niche. It is about so many different pieces that are going to work together. But one really, really important thing is to remember that traffic does not equal qualified lead generation. There's a lot of people out there who, especially in the web area of things, can promise you traffic, especially with SEO, with Google Analytics, with creating AdWord campaigns, and they can promise you traffic. But the traffic is not necessarily qualified. They don't necessarily know who you are. What you want is going to be qualified lead generation opportunities. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We are not talking about ways to be able to increase traffic to your website. We are not talking about ways just to put leads in your system. We're talking about ways to put quality leads into your agency. So really, let's make sure that we do focus on that. This is probably how you feel right now. You're probably stressed, overwhelmed, saying, oh my gosh, I don't have time for another thing to do. But you know what? This is going to be worth your time. We're going to really stretch your imagination. We're going to really stretch your idea of lead management and lead marketing and lead generation, because we are going to talk about things that are completely different. So I'm very, very excited to be able to give you guys all the different pieces today. Now, lead generation fits like a puzzle, and all the puzzle pieces have to work together. If the puzzle pieces do not work together, you are shooting yourself in the foot, because it is not going to be a coordinated effort. Okay, you may have things like you may purchase online leads, you may do email marketing, you may do direct mail, you may have phone calls, you may have a website, you may have all of these different things. But really, it's like a puzzle. Because what happens is all the pieces have to be able to fit together. And as they work together and as they fit together, you have the ability to be able to build your network, create what we call authority, celebrity, and eventually you're going to be able to achieve your goals. And that is what lead generation needs to accomplish for you, is that it needs to work together. And we are here to help. It may seem very, very complicated. Again, we're going to get to the strategy here in just a minute. But here at Agency IQ, that is what we do. We do marketing for insurance agents. We help insurance agents to be able to create plans, to be able to put all this together. Whether or not you utilize anything like Agency IQ, that's totally 100% your choice. But you can do all this on your own if you wanted to, or with another system. So we want to make sure that you know how the most effective venue is to be able to generate these leads. There are 4 essential keys to lead generation. The first one is going to be that people buy from people. There is a lot of strong information out there specifically about being able to have a strong, powerful name behind your company. Totally understand that. But a lot of people have bad experiences with big companies too. So what people do is people find an insurance agent that they connect with. And a lot of times the company is a secondary point. It's a strong point, but it's not the primary point. If somebody finds an insurance agent that they don't like, no matter what the company is, they'll go to a different insurance agent. And what you want is to be different, to be unique. And really, you need to make sure that in everything you do, you remember that people want to buy from people, because that is so important. Number 2, people trust celebrity. Now, I'm not talking about Lindsay Lohan or, anything like that, Ozzy Osbourne or those types of celebrities. People trust people that make a name for themselves in their community. Maybe you've heard, different radio ads, or you've heard different opportunities and you know that somebody's really, really good at what they do. And that it makes people more open to being able to refer them, to be able to do business with them, to be able to recognize other marketing opportunities that come their way. People trust celebrity. And what we want to help you do is create celebrity within your community. And it's really, really important. Another really big key to lead generation is to remember, and this is huge. This made so much of a difference for me when I learned this. It's not the client's job to remember to do business with you. That is so powerful. Because a lot of times we almost get offended whenever people go to another insurance agent or to another company. And we go, oh, well, why did they do that? But the reality is that people do not have, part of the reason that we lose clients is because of sheer apathy. Somebody else just offered them a better quote, or somebody else just called them or connected with them, or they met somebody that they really liked and said, hey, yeah, sure. Well, I haven't heard from my insurance agent in a year or two, so I'll just go ahead and see what you could do for me. We run across that all the time. Remember, it's not the client's job to remember to do business with you. Number 3, lead generation should always offer you as a resource. This is not advertising, people. This is not throwing up your banner and being able to parade up and down the street. This is about being a resource for your clients and giving them the opportunity to grow, to learn, and to be taken care of. Above all else, lead generation marketing does not work if it's boring. If it is boring, if it is drool, if it doesn't have any personality, nobody's connecting, nobody's buying from people, you're not establishing celebrity, nobody wants to do business with you, you're not resourceful, and they don't remember you. So what we want to do is have fun. Now, here's kind of a cool tip that I learned. And this is a triangle of what we call the triangle of marketing, okay? This is your essentials. Now, first of all, you have to have a great message. A great message needs to be what we call a unique proposition, and it needs to be a message, okay? What is it that you want to be able to get across to your client? The next piece is probably just as important, if not more important, which is your market. Now, in the insurance industry, I've gone to so many networking meetings where if you say, who is your market? Well, anybody that owns a home. Well, you know what? I've said that exact same thing. But the reality is that's not our market. Our market is certain price ranges, maybe certain demographics, certain areas geographically. We need to target our market, maybe people that are renewing in the next 30, 60, 90 days. That is our market. If you just take everybody in your system, say that you have 3,000 people in your system, okay? In maybe a marketing system or something that you might have. Your market is not those 3,000 people. You will go broke advertising to 3,000 people every single week or every single month. You need to make sure that you focus your marketing effectively so that you can get the most out of what it is that you're doing, not exhaust yourself, and be able to see the rewards and the profit from that very quickly. Another point is media. A lot of people, you need to make sure that you use multiple venues of media. Now, some of the pitfalls that we find that insurance agents make is that they make the message all about them. It's more of an advertisement, and that's not what you're looking for. You are looking for the ability to connect. So we're going to talk about how to connect with your client, but really you need to make sure that your message is about your client. It is not about you. It is about how you solve their problem. We actually had a webinar a couple weeks ago specifically about how to be able to identify your target market and how to be able to present your message. We will be offering those webinars again after the new year. So do make sure that you watch those because that is so important for how you're going to be able to generate that. On the media side, people are too limited. They think that if they send out a postcard, they should automatically have a flood of phone calls coming in. You need to make sure that you have multiple avenues for media. That is so important. We're going to be talking about that a lot more during this webinar. Then we also see that the market is just too big. We kind of talked about that to begin with. Your entire market is not an entire city or even an entire zip code. Your market is people who have maybe expiration dates coming up, people who fit into a certain piece, into a certain aspect, so that way you can go ahead and make sure that you focus on those people in that market, maybe a certain age range, if you're doing Medicare, or if you are doing different types of opportunities for, maybe you have a great opening in certain price ranges for some of your carriers. That is so important, is knowing your market. Now let's talk about knowing your market a little bit more, okay? Knowing why people shop is going to be huge. Are they shopping for price? Are they shopping because they're relocating? Are they shopping because maybe they've had a bad service opportunity? Maybe they've had a bad product that maybe somehow they didn't have coverage for something at some point. They had a bad experience. Maybe they just ran into somebody else that's a new resource, so they're just, kind of bored with where they are. Or they just kind of want to shop the market. That also goes into apathy as well, which is probably one of the largest reasons why people change insurance agents, is just flat out because of apathy. So that's very, very important, is to know why people shop. Because then we really need to know how people shop. Lead generation is all about getting to people when they want to be able to be gotten to on, and connected with. So we need to talk about not only why people shop, because that's going to help you focus your message, but also how people shop. When we know how people are shopping for insurance, then that's going to tell us where to be able to go generate those qualified leads. Because we don't want people who want iPods. We don't want people who click on a banner because of the concept that they think they're doing something completely different. We want people who know that they are looking at an insurance company. And that is very, very important to make sure that that offers us the qualified leads that we're looking for. There's what we call a 6-time rule. Okay, the 6-time rule means that you need to be able to make sure that you have multiple exposures to your client. Multiple exposures to your client helps them to be able to connect directly to you. We always want an insurance company that's going to be around, that's stable, an agent that's not just going to leave the market one day and then, we have to be able to be picked up by somebody else and a lot of fluctuations. You don't want that. You want consistency. You want somebody who's been around because that's going to build trust. Now, let's get into a little bit more of the details. We've talked about how to be able to focus your market and so forth. Let's specifically talk about how to go after that market and be able to build your leads. These are going to be quite a bit different probably from what you've thought of in the past, and we'll be offering more webinars specifically on each item in more detail at some point during 2013. So do make sure that you watch out for those webinars. Now, the first one is going to be to write an ebook. That sounds very intimidating, and I completely understand that. But writing a Kindle book these days or an ebook is so easy. It's literally maybe 10, 20 pages, 30 pages. We've seen them up to 80 pages. And really what they are is you can do them for $2.99 on Kindle. You can just upload it. We're going to be helping agents to be able to do that this year. And write something that is resourceful for your agents. Like write an article, okay, that is going to be resourceful for your prospects. Something that they're going to want to be able to read. You can make sure that it doesn't have to be too many pages. Maybe write about financial security, disaster recovery, things to think about maybe in the instance of a disaster, things that maybe people want to know. We had somebody throw out the idea of 10 things your insurance agent doesn't want you to know, and then kind of go into these different things. And that would be pretty fun. Include funny stories, maybe a survival guide, different things like that. How to be able to manage a hard market for insurance agents, things to look for insurance clients. These are going to be fun, okay? And it doesn't have to be real huge. It doesn't cost anything to be able to put it up on Kindle, and they'll do the promoting for you technically. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to be able to do some different promotion. Once it's up there. You don't have to do anything with it. Cool things about Kindle books are that they are cheap, and you can even maybe make a little bit of money off of them. If you put them for $2 up there on Kindle, you get 70% of that. It's not the point of the money. It's more along the lines of the fact that we're establishing celebrity. We're establishing a notoriety in your community. You can do what's called a print-on-demand book. And through Amazon, who owns Kindle, what you can do is you can actually print off some of these books. Usually they're about $2.50 to $4 a piece, and then you can hand them out at different events. It's going to be a great lead generation opportunity. It creates celebrity, and it lets people know that you're stable and that you're going to be there for the long haul. And it gives them something. People don't like to throw away books. They do not like to be able to throw away books. You don't put books in a trash can. You just don't do it. But you might put a postcard in a trash can. So that's really going to be important for being able to generate and the longevity of the lead. You can hand them out at speaking events, or you can just, be able to hand them out to be able to obtain speaking events. Being able to establish celebrity, again, I'm going to make a really big deal out of that because that is going to be our number one goal. Inside of a Kindle book, one thing that's very unique about a Kindle book is that you can also embed videos. And so like if you wanted to do YouTube videos or something like that, you can embed them inside of your Kindle book. And then on top of that too, you can also embed links to your website or to other articles that you've written. And then you can also go ahead and drive that business back to your agency, your website, a phone number, anything like that, which is going to be direct lead generation. A really great thing that we've seen people do is say that, hey, if you go to our website, you can get the book for free and just download it directly from there. So you don't even have to go through Kindle and or through Amazon. And that's a great way too. And that way you can advertise that and be able to say, hey, just for you, because you're a special client or you're a special, prospect or something, then we're going to give you the book for free. And it makes people feel like they're getting something, and it makes them feel very, very special. Always drive back to an article or a website, and always do opt-in. We're going to be talking about opt-in quite a bit more. Okay. And we're going to go into that in more detail. But what we're going to do is you want to make sure that you're focusing that article towards your office, towards your website. Okay. And then give it out to mortgage brokers and realtors. Give it out to networking events. Give it out to your neighbors. Like I said, people do not want to throw away a book. And that is so important because they're going to keep it around. If mortgage brokers hand it to people that they are in the process of writing a policy for or a new loan for, then that is going to be so huge for giving you an advantage over other insurance agents. So really look into the Kindle thing. It's not complicated. We're going to talk about how to even have it done for you. We're going to talk about how to make this done, be able to be performed through a service. Okay, so we'll talk about that here in just a few minutes too. But the biggest thing that we are looking at is the fact that we are creating authority and celebrity. And again, we're creating multiple opportunities for people to recognize you, to know you, and to be able to be astounded by you and how they need to do business with you. Because that's the key. You need to give them an urgency and a need to do business with you. Number 2, our second way to be able to generate leads is you need to be able to post online articles as resources for lead generation. This is kind of sort of similar to the Kindle book thing. A lot of people like the Kindle book thing because of the fact it means you're a published author. But whether or not you put your articles or your books on Kindle, but another way to be able to do it is to be able to just put them online. Okay, so what you can do is you can put in articles online, and these can be like 3-page articles. They don't have to be huge. You can even co-author them with AC people or with home improvement people or other businesses in your community. And this will allow you to be able to do some amazing lead generation. Always, always, always make sure that your articles are resourceful, because the big thing is you want people to want to read them. When you put them online, always put in an opt-in page. Your opt-in page is going to be very vital because that's where you're doing your lead generation. And we're going to talk about how to be able to create an opt-in page in just a little bit. But your opt-in page, once they give you their basic information, then they get access to your article. And it's going to be extremely resourceful. Maybe it'll be funny. Maybe it will have additional information that they really need to know. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that name, that email, maybe the address. Maybe you even asked when their local homeowners policy, or whenever their, life insurance policy is through. Maybe you might ask them a couple questions about what type of insurance that you are writing articles about. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and have that funnel back into a lead management system. Now, we are a lead management system or CRM system, but really nurturing that lead is going to be key, because they may not be overly ready to be able to buy right now, but they will be able to buy in the near future. And they're going to know who you are, what you offer, and you will have created celebrity. So you need to make sure that that nurturing part of your lead generation process is going to be vital. So that's going to be really, really important. You can always promote your articles online by Facebook, Twitter, direct mail, email marketing, networking, newsletters. I know people that put check out our article online and put it on their business card. You could do it through civics groups. You can even have different types of articles for different types of groups, like maybe insurance tips for people who are retired, and then specifically go speak at maybe retired secretary associations or something like that, and be a resource for people who maybe you're a little bit further along in their years, and maybe they haven't looked at their insurance coverage in a number of years. You're going to want to make sure that you promote these on your banners, your website marketing, mortgage brokers, realtors, credit counselors, etc. All of these are going to be huge avenues for you to be able to promote these articles. You need to make sure you publish multiple articles and circulate them in multiple different avenues. Again, having somebody hear you, know you, recognize you, see you as an authority, and be able to have multiple exposures to you is going to be huge. Now, I can hear everybody right now. I don't have time for this. I don't know how to do it, and I don't want to. And I completely understand that. We are all completely overwhelmed. But there's great systems out there like Elance, quite a few other ones that have people that are higher degrees that want to be able to work from home, write articles for you. You can give them a topic or even download things from the internet, send them 5 other articles that are similar to the one that you want to be able to build. They'll go ahead and they'll write it for you for $8 an hour. $10 an hour, something like that. And they will get it done within very little time. So that's a great avenue for you to be able to have people do this work for you so that way you don't have to worry about it. And, I know people we've recommended this out to other insurance agents. We have a gentleman that we've worked with. It was $150 and he wrote us 10 articles for an agent that I had. So that was huge. That was absolutely huge. And we had to go in there and make a few tweaks to it because there's not an insurance agent. But it really, really made the job of the agent so much easier. You can also store the articles online. There's a great program called Amazon S3. There's also some different cloud opportunities, WordPress, to where you can go ahead and you can store your articles online. Very easy. We're going to be talking to you guys about how to be able to do that, and we can help you out with that in any way that you guys want us to. And you can store your articles online, and then a great program that we utilize here inside of our offices is called Optimize Press. $97 one-time fee, plugs directly into WordPress, and you can do your opt-in pages. Again, we're going to be working with insurance agents to be able to help them out this year with that process. So that's going to be very, very cool. But again, it's really easy once you get it up and running, and especially if you just ask them questions about it, then you're going to be able to create celebrity, authority. You're going to be able to have multiple different opportunities for people to be able to have access to your information. They're going to have you as a resource for cool stuff that they need to be able to make sure that they maybe do for their home or their life insurance or health, or go get in maybe some holistic information. You can even bring in, like I mentioned earlier, bring in other people from other businesses to help you co-author things, and then they'll go ahead and promote it too, and then that will help you to be able to build your network. Number 3, public speaking. All of these fit in together because you're going to utilize all of those groups that we talked about. Networking groups, retiree groups, women's groups, maybe classic car automotive groups, all of these different types of groups. You take your book, you take your article, you publish those, then you go out and you promote them. And everything that your staff does, every time that they stand up, they're not advertising. When they stand up for their 30-second spot, or 60-second spot, however your spot is or when they talk for 20 minutes at a conference or at a group, they are talking about the resources that your office has. This is going to be able to give you guys the ability to be able to do what we call a soft sell, okay? And it's not real advertising. It's not real swoopy. People want you to talk about these things. And you can even tickle a couple of additional topics so that way you can even hear how people respond to things and go out there and do more articles. And it's such a cool concept. And again, these are something that will be up there for a long time. And once you've done a couple of them, they're going to be much easier, and they're going to be much easier to be able to promote. And then all you do is promote them and they work for you. Very, very important. Kind of sort of went over all this, but as you're speaking, make sure you always refer to your articles. A cool thing is that if you do public speaking, make sure that you get people to be able to subscribe to your newsletter. Very important, because they are going to be interested then in receiving information that you have to offer. Hand out books. And it also gets you invitations to be able to speak in other places, which of course is going to build your authority and celebrity. I know I'm hounding on the authority and celebrity thing and the 6-time rule, but that is such a major component, if not the biggest component, to marketing, because that redundancy and being a resource is going to be your number one way to be able to generate, what was our key word? Qualified leads. That's something nobody else can be able to offer you. Always make sure that you are a resource. You are not out there to be able to advertise. We are offering a resource and kind of what people would call a soft sell type opportunity. Again, email marketing is fabulous. I love email marketing. We get a lot of great success with email marketing. The biggest problems that we find with insurance agents is that they think of email marketing as a postcard. They think of email marketing as some overproduced postcard that should be available directly from their main company, or that they don't want to have to put together, or they think of it as some big graphic fest. And that is not what it is. Email marketing should be personable, consistent, persistent, resourceful, educational, entertaining. It should have include autoresponders. You should always have a call to action. You should always contain a PS. Lots of people read the PS before they actually read the actual email. And you should always be able to tell stories. Make it an event. Be able to be funny. Tell stories about your family, about your dog, about, the local bunny, in the neighborhood or something. There's lots of different opportunities to be able to connect through email. Always go ahead and customize the email based on the interest that the client has already shown, such as specifically about life insurance or long-term care, or specifically focus your email efforts in those areas. You can use other emails as interest builders, okay? But you can also utilize email marketing for promoting other articles and maybe seeing if people are interested in that. So that way, if they don't ever go download an article about something, then they're not interested in that thing. So it's going to be a great opportunity for you guys to be able to build that relationship and be able to do a lot more of a resourceful based touch. Email is an ability for you to nurture a relationship. People respond to personal emails. People do not generally respond as well to overproduced postcard emails. So here at Agency IQ, we do have an email marketing piece to it. A lot of people do want the overproduced, swanky emails. We have those available to you. But at the same point, those are not the ones that we generally recommend, just because of the fact that they're beautiful and they're cool and they look professional and they're corporate. But that's what they are. They're corporate. They're not from the agent. So therefore, that is very, very important, because if the agent opens up their Outlook and sends an email, it's not going to be overly swanky. It's going to be an email. And that's really what people open up and connect with. Direct mail. A lot of people feel like direct mail is dead, but it is not. Direct mail that advertises is not a good opportunity, okay? You should not advertise by using direct mail. Again, none of these opportunities that we're talking about have anything to do with advertising. They are all about being a resource. They should always point towards your market. They are not intended for everybody. They should be done in multiples. Marketing by direct mail, email, none of these are one-shot opportunities. They don't work if they're one-shot opportunities, especially like if you send a postcard once a quarter. Not a good thing, because people are going to forget about you between now and then. Do you want people to only think about you once a quarter? Well, then don't send a postcard once a quarter. We're going to go through some great direct mail ideas. We're going to go through what's called lumpy mail and some other things in some other webinars, but your direct mail should stand out. It should be unique and extraordinary. It should not be what everybody else does. Now, I have to tell you, I did get a Christmas card from my roofing company. I got a new roof on my house about a year ago. Got a Christmas card from them, had a label on the front, and it just had a printed inside. And it just said, from this roofing company. And that's all. And I thought, you know what? They don't even know who I am. They don't have any clue who I am. It's nice of them to be able to send me a Christmas card, but it wasn't personal at all. It wasn't unique, and it wasn't extraordinary. And it was almost, I hate to say it, but it was almost offensive at the amount of money that you give them. And then to turn around and they can't even, sign a Christmas card. So that was, that was something that I would honestly say was almost a turnoff for me. So you need to make sure that your marketing is unique and extraordinary. You should always focus on your message. You should streamline your mail and email, make them look very similar, use the same wording, mirror people's feelings. Drive people online for lead generation. Again, you can go ahead and you can advertise your articles. You can advertise your speaking events. You can advertise your other opportunities. And again, I apologize. Do not use the word advertise. Always, always, always be a resource. Be personal. Now, we're going to build on our graphic here. We've talked about opt-in pages into articles to be able to generate the lead and so forth. But what you're going to do is you're going to use email and direct mail to be able to push, to be able to advertise your opt-in and your articles so that way you are building qualified leads. Because again, they have to make the effort to go download or to be able to go log on in, give you their information in order to be able to reach out to your article. So utilizing direct mail and email to be able to promote this article or Kindle book or e-opportunity is a great way for you to be able to build qualified leads. You're creating authority and celebrity at the same time and providing a redundant ability for them to be able to know who you are. A good lead management system or CRM will help you to nurture that lead through email marketing, direct mail marketing, and so forth, which will then go ahead and help you to be able to build out opportunities for people to be able to connect with you. So therefore, you're going to be able to really be able to build up that qualified lead generation pool. Now, newsletters. A lot of agents hate newsletters. They don't want to do them. They find them time-consuming and annoying. And one of the things that we do here at Agency IQ that we're going to be doing for the next year, okay, is going to be the ability to be able to help agents with their newsletters. Okay, we are going to provide templates. We're going to be able to do that. Now, I love an email newsletter, but I don't think they can be. I don't think they can provide enough information by email. I don't think they're exactly the same thing. People like to feel and touch something, sit down on the couch with it. That's how you're creating relationship. So what I would do is I would physically mail a newsletter out to certain people, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. Your newsletters need to be monthly. They need to be regular. They need to go out at the same time. They need to be predictable because that is how you're building relationship. They need to be entertaining. Don't tell us about insurance. People don't want to talk about insurance. They want to be entertained. It needs to be engaging. You can do it in black and white. It's much cheaper, much easier. Just do it in black and white. It's perfectly fine. You can tell us all about you or your office staff, or tell us about your dog, tell us about your holiday, lots of different opportunities for that. Always, always, always point to the resources that you're offering. Mostly women read newsletters. Women love to connect and things like that. So always offer recipes, contests, word searches, welcome new clients. People love to see their name in print. It's one of their favorite things on the planet. And the back page is really your call or your offer, okay, and your call to action to be able to connect with them. Because again, we're creating that authority. So let's go ahead and talk about a little bit more about a newsletter format. Okay, now one of the things we're doing here at Agency IQ is doing the format for our insurance agents that we do consulting with. And this is actually our January newsletter. And we already have in here some information about good Super Bowl snacks. We're going to be putting in something about the different football teams that are going to the Super Bowl, maybe a little bit of information about the pre-festivities kind of thing. And then we also have the ability to be able to put in a word search. There's lots of ways online for you to be able to create a word search. You just go ahead and put in words that have something to do with the month and maybe like things about that word or whatever, and they'll create a word search for you just right off the bat. One thing that we like to be able to recommend is to be able to tell people that they can either fax in, email, or mail in their crossword puzzle, and then you'll give them a prize. And that's pretty cool. You can send like a $5, $5 Starbucks card or a $5 Jimmy John's card or something like that, and people will do it. And it gets them engaged. You know they're reading it, and you can even get some companies, especially mom and pop shop type things, to be able to donate some of those. We are also doing a quick little article, and then, of course, New Year's around the world and what that looks like for different cultures. So that's pretty cool, too. We're pretty excited about that. Again, Back page is all about your agency. Do an agency letter article. I just stuck one of my pictures in there so that way, for the purpose, we put in the agent's picture there. So then you could go ahead and just say something about all the things that are going to be going on in the next year. Maybe we're going to go ahead. Our publisher hasn't actually put together the article yet, but join us in visiting, honoring our veterans, places that people hang out, maybe your speaking engagements, your articles. And of course, down at the bottom, you're driving them back to your website, back to your agency. Give us a call. But it's fun. It's engaging. It's entertaining. It's something people are going to look towards. Financially, this can get a little bit pricey. So again, you do not want to be able to send to 3,000 people. But what you can do is you can go ahead and you can send it to your top 20%. Those are going to be people that are going to refer out people, have great other 20%ers that are going to want to be able to get a referral and do business with you. So do send out your newsletter to people, physically send it to people that you want to do business with. Very, very important. Number 7 is all about testimonials. Ask for the specific benefit. Repeat what they say. Email it to them, and then have them email you authorization to be able to use it. So that way, if you want authorization in writing, you can do that. But, that way they don't have to write it out. A lot of times people just don't know how to give you a testimonial. Okay. You can ask them questions like, what would you say to people who don't do business with us? Why would you choose to do business with us? How do we meet or exceed your expectation? Again, being able to utilize these types of testimonials creates authority and celebrity. Utilize your networking opportunities to be able to back up all the things that you've done. Present your ebooks, your articles, your newsletters, refer people on out to other community connections. This is going to be your connection. Again, we're building rapport. This is awesome because a lot of times we find that a lot of co-op money can be utilized with online advertising, banners, and so forth. So you wouldn't even have to pay for this because a lot of companies will do banners or pay for banners on different sites, and they've been proven to be very, very effective. So what we would highly recommend is just going ahead and putting banners on different sites, maybe on a home and garden show, maybe on, if you do motorcycle insurance, on like motorcycle forums or clubs, motorcycle clubs, they're all over the place. Maybe on classic car type places, on retirement areas for like activities like senior citizens buildings, companies, maybe on Boy Scout troops, things like that are going to be awesome resources for you to be able to not advertise, but to be able to promote your resources. And you're going to be able to drive those quality leads on in and nurture them so that way you can go ahead and make the sale. The 9th way to be able to generate leads is going to be surveys and referrals. People want to know that you hear them. That is probably one of the biggest thing about sales is that people do not feel like they are heard. SurveyMonkey is a great company. Do a survey on out to your people. Ask people what they want from an agent. Focus your marketing using their words. Very important. You're engaging them. Asking about promotions. Ask them if they've read your newsletter or read your articles. It's a great way for them to go, oh, no, I don't think I've done that. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw in here online leads. A lot of people might not necessarily want to be able to utilize online leads and they sit back and go, oh, no, you've just ruined the whole presentation. But what I want to be able to challenge you guys is that if you choose to utilize online leads, and we have a vast amount of our clients that do, if you want to utilize online leads, apply these principles. These online leads do not have any knowledge about who you are. You have not built authority. You have not built celebrity. They don't have any redundancy of seeing your name. And what they're going to want to do is get to know you. You're only going to make a certain percentage of the sale on the front end by being quick, by being resourceful, by getting in there. Great. Do those things. Use your auto dialer. Agency IQ's auto dialer is very, very fast to get you in contact with these people. But over the long haul, make sure that you get in there and that you build redundancy inside of your marketing so that way in a year, in 2 years, they know who you are. You have a sitting ready market right then and there. You know that they were shopping for insurance. You know that they gave you their information to a large degree. Now, they're not necessarily going to be qualified leads when they come to you, depending on the company, because some companies do a better job at that than others. But you can go ahead and requalify them on the back end because you already have all their information to be able to market to them. So it's a great opportunity, again, with being able to repeatedly connect with them, offer them resources, create celebrity and authority. You are going to be able to wrap on up and be able to reach out there and be able to make the most out of those leads. And that's where you're going to see the success with online leads. The point here is just connect all of your marketing pieces in your message. Right now, everybody's marketing information is probably reasonably disjointed. Here is a better way to look at it. We've expanded out our original flow chart that we were building throughout the presentation. And this is really what the cycle is. The cycle is to be able to utilize newsletters, email, banners, ebooks, surveys, all of those things to drive people to your resources to which you can educate them, build celebrity, multiple exposures. They give you their information. Then you go ahead and you utilize a lead management system to be able to massage them, to nurture them, and to be able to, again, point them to your other resources so that you're building those opportunities for qualifying your lead generation. Now, all of this can happen automatically if it's set up correctly. So then what happens is that as this is massaging your leads, you don't have to do anything. You are completely hands off until, say, maybe they have 4 opportunities to where they have connected with you. Then you go ahead and you reach on out to them on their renewal, or you reach on out to them based on something else. And so, or they'll reach on out to you. And so you're massaging this lead so you give them the opportunity for them to respond, and or you already have all their information. So then they can respond at their own convenience. So, and you can respond directly to them, and you're massaging that lead. And of course, they're going to give you better referrals. They're going to recognize you around. They're going to, I have insurance agents that are recognized at the grocery store from their pictures from their newsletter and so forth. So, I mean, it's a great opportunity for you guys to be able to build your community. Again, it's all about the strategy, all about it. Traffic is not your goal. Traffic is not your goal. Your goal is quality lead generation, and I think we pretty much have established that today. I have done a lot of good marketing courses, things like that, and there's a gentleman by the name of Dan Kennedy who says that people will not give you their money unless they're first willing to give you their time. And if people are not willing to give you their time, they don't respect you, they don't know you, so of course they're not going to end up giving you their money or doing business with you. So the reciprocal of that is that if you give people your time, then they will be willing to spend time with you, and then you are worthy of doing business with them. And that's what we want to be able to make sure that we are promoting in that relationship building opportunity. What I want to do is see if anybody has any questions at this time. It's a lot of information. I'm sitting here thinking maybe we shouldn't have done 10 specifically, but points, because it is a little bit much. But at the same point, it's so much great information that completely builds on itself and builds on each other that I would love to be able to see if anybody has any information. I will be sending out, I've got a couple people that are asking about if we're going to be sending out the webinar so that way you guys can look back over the webinar screens, and we will do that, as well as the fact that we're also dropping the name Kitchens, but Teresa Hunter, and we are email marketing. We have an auto dialer, newsletters, print marketing, and lead management for the insurance industry. We do offer a free 15-day trial if you're interested in trying out the Agency IQ system. And if you just want to be able to check us on out, you're always welcome to be able to go to our website. It's just www.agencyiq.net, or feel free to give us a call at 877-985-7400. And we look forward to being able to connect with everybody. And we'll be sending out more information specifically about our other webinars too, so that you guys can learn more and be better marketers. So everybody have a great afternoon and enjoy your holiday.